How many miles you got on this Rad Rover 6 Plus?
I have 111.3. By the end of the day, it will probably be 114.
How about you go for 120?
Today?
Yes. 8.7 miles is what you got to go. All right, I'm going to get to work. He's going to get to riding. Take it real slow because you got them hanging off both sides and the one up above. I don't want to tear the door off. It couldn't be any higher, but it fit. That's funny. We're still learning all the, you know, ins and outs of this system and where we want to hang everything. And I just decided to try that. Maybe the not so smart way, I don't know. Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. Today, Caden and I are back up at the cabin, but we're not going to be working up here at the cabin. I just kind of wanted to show you what I'm starting on. I got started on it last night so I could get an idea of what supplies I needed. I mentioned that we had another idea for the flooring in the cabin because it got so cold the night that we stayed in here and we don't have any insulation under the floor. So we decided that the first thing we're going to do is put down a layer of that foam that we insulated the walls with on the floor and then put a new layer of flooring over the top of that foam. We have some thinner foam that's like 3/8 inch or something like that we're laying down and then kind of pulling the flooring down on it. So I brought a few boards up here and kind of got started just to see how that would work out. It kind of makes it the perfect level. It actually brings the floor right up to the level of the 2x4s that were banding the edge of the cabin. So it works out just great with our stove hearth over here and the opening of the door, the whole bit. So the flooring is gonna work great. The problem I have is that I don't have much lumber left. I was hoping I had enough of that red oak left to finish the whole job, but we're not even close to that. So what I've got to do now is I have kind of my scraps left over. I've got some slabs that we set off to the side, and then I have different boards that have like live edges on one side or partially on the end and things like that I think I can clean up with the table saw, since I don't hit me with your football, boy. Caden over here playing football around. We don't have the sawmill on the property anymore. So I've got a table saw and a chainsaw and a circular saw. So I'm thinking I can clean up some of those boards and make them useful. And then I also have some scrap oak left over from, well, it's the stuff that we used on our original, what is going to be the subfloor now. But it's just not quite as good a quality wood as the stuff that we milled with the Woodland Mills HM130 Max. I'm gonna see what I can come up with. So today's kind of a gathering supplies day and just piddling around. I made a post the other day of me up here with an L8 one. I said I'm just piddling up at the cabin and I had somebody comment, why does it say piddling? I guess they weren't familiar with that word, but you know what that word means? If you're gonna piddle around?
Just having fun.
Yeah, just wasting time, just hanging out. You know, I did some stuff, but I wasn't just being productive. I didn't come up here with a project in mind. I came up here and I put down a few boards here just to see how that was going to work out. And then I cleaned up a bunch of scrap lumber off the front porch, cut it up into firewood. And then I sat on the porch and watched the water and hung out. So I came up here to get some tools and some sawhorses. So here's a good example of what I need to do tonight. Although this is one of the nicer ones, you can see how this board right here has this little bit of live edge right here, and we don't want to put that down as a floorboard like that. So I'm going to take a chalk line and I'm going to measure whatever width I can get the complete board out of, and I'm going to mark that and I'll rip it with the circular saw. And down at the house I'll use the table saw. But I had this one board up here, so I'm going to y'all just missed it. The camera was turned the wrong direction. What happened, Caden?
I spiked it and hit right here and it hit my face.
But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and rip this one since it's up here, and then that way it will be ready to work with. And then we'll go back down to the house and see what we can get out of our pile down there. You know what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Take me home, James. Hey, wait, who left the cabin door open? Well, the pond's looking pretty, but it needs some more water. Yeah, see bluegill. Knocked my sawhorses over, man. I thought we'd be killed or even worse. So you know what your job is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's to go get those safety glasses.
That's right. And what are you gonna ride?
The e-bike.
The e-bike. Who makes the e-bike?
Rad Power Bike.
That's Rad Power. Do you like the Rad Power Bike?
Yeah, I do like the Rad Power Bike.
You wear that thing out. How many miles you put on that thing?
Probably 12.
Well, I bet you put more than 12. Check it when you come back. So here's my pile of lumber that I've got left. And there is some decent lumber still here, but I knew when I was loading lumber up and taking it up there that not all of this was going to be ready to use. In fact, most of this is not quite ready to use. It needs cleaned up a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of go through this stack and get as much good, useful lumber out of it as I can. And then I've got my stack of slabs over here, which is mostly probably firewood, and it's starting to curl and stuff because it's sitting out in the sun. But I might see if I can get some boards out of that too, because I think I could get about an 8-footer out of that there. You know, so there's some good boards there. We'll just see what we can come up with and get as many as we can. Now this also might be a two-step process, because what I may do is chalk line and rip one side of it so that I can use my table saw and run it down the fence and get a good cut on the other side. It's easier to use a table saw than it is the circular saw. So I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. How many miles you got on this Rad Power Bike's Rad Rover 6 Plus?
I have 111.3. By the end of the day, it'll probably be 114.
How about you go for 120?
Today?
Yes. He's got 111 miles on it. 8.7 miles is what you got to go. You can do it. All right, I'm going to get to work. He's going to get to riding. Okay, in order to evaluate our process here, I think I'm going to stop with the 4 boards I've got there, move to the next station, which is the table saw, and see how this is working out before we get too deep into this. I may find out that I want to rip them all with the circular saw, but I'm probably going to eat up battery quickly if I do that. So we got the side-by-side here with the Artilian tool rack where I can stack my lumber on top of it, and that's pretty handy, especially for building projects and stuff like this. It's designed so you can put a ladder or whatever on it. Now, the way it sets up, I have to set them up on the roof, but it's kind of got, the way the roof is designed, it's got a perfect little pocket there. So as long as you don't get too rowdy or put too much weight on it, works out really well. Threw the chainsaw holder on there just so I could have my chainsaw here handy. I'm loving these Artilian accessories. Pretty cool setup. Let's move on to the next station. Caden just stopped by to tell me he's made it 2 miles so far. I told him to go 8.7 and make it 120 miles on the bike, but we'll see how he does. Oh, that's a heavy one. Here's what we've got to do. Basically, I figure out what I need to chop off of this and set my fence. About 9.5 out of this. So we'll go with that. He's having a ball on that bike.
I'm pretty sure I saw 22.
22 miles an hour? I'll load these up in the truck here. that system works pretty well, so I think we'll kind of stick with that. Caden's still riding the bike. He's up to 3 miles now, a little over 3 miles.
I'm halfway there.
You are? Look at you, 115.4 miles. You've rode 4.1 miles.
And I'm about to die.
How much are you pedaling?
Over there and some over here.
Do you twist the throttle or do you do the assisted pedal?
I do both.
That's good for you. You know, back when I was a kid, they didn't have these newfangled electric bikes to do all the work for you. Walked uphill to school both ways, through 3 foot of snow. All right, just take her slow because I don't have my load of lumber strapped on. They're just sitting on there.
I also want to go very fast.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, got it.
Low gear, super slow. They stayed on. Oh, hey, how many miles you up to?
What?
How many miles you up to?
18.2.
118.2. Uh-oh. I think he's gonna make it. 1.8 miles. So we got all the boards that were easy to make good lumber out of, ripped into boards that we can use on the cabin floor, and they're going to look nice. Now, there's other lumber here that I know I can get boards out of, but I feel like I'm close to having enough to do this floor. So I'm gonna take what I've got up to the cabin, lay all that, and then I'll know what sizes I need to finish it up and how many boards I have left that I need. And then I'll go through some of this. You know, there's some oak right there that's just kind of weathered. It's got some checking and all that. That I could go through that and rip a few boards out of. And then there are some good slabs in this stack right here. Especially under what's on top, there are some nice slabs down under there, live edge slabs, and I didn't handle that all the way that I should have to get the best out of all of this. But I'm gonna get all this organized because one of these days I'm gonna have me a sawmill. Listen, I've got walnut logs back there. Got some sycamore too, which I'm probably gonna give to a buddy of mine to make some cross tie staging area like we made here. He's gonna cut those into logs and use them to stack lumber on. So yeah, but we're gonna start saving logs and keeping track because we would love to turn this into our own little wood yard here. Kind of a little dream, but we'll see how all that plays out. All right, I'm gonna put tools away, and hopefully by then Caden will be at 120 miles on the bike, and he can go up the hill with me and we can unload this lumber and put it away. Where you at?
199.
No way. 119.9. You made it. Finish it off. All right, show me your end result.
I still got 2 more to go.
2 more to go.
I'm going 9 miles.
9 miles? You want to go farther now? Hey, put the bike away. Let's go and load this lumber.
I got 2 more miles to go.
120.1. Hey, that's a good job, man. So I challenged him to round off the mileage on the bike to 120 miles, and he made that, but he wanted to get the extra 0.2 of a mile in so that he was actually at 9 solid miles of riding. So that's pretty cool. Listen, I know it's an e-bike. I know that it doesn't take the same amount of effort as riding a regular bike with no assistance, but he's out here, he's getting a little bit of exercise, and he's having a good time. So that's pretty cool. That's why I like the bike. It's pretty neat. We're gonna get our sawhorses set up on the porch up there and stack the lumber on the porch out of the weather. Now see, I've also got I've got 2 stacks of leftover kind of junk wood here that I can pull a few more boards out of too if I need to. They're all just kind of dried and weathered at different rates, and so I don't, you make fun of me talking with my hands?
This is...
They're all just, you know, dried in different rates and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'll use them if I need to finish the project, but I want to use the fresher lumber if I can. All right, bro, let's get this knocked out.
If I can.
All right, stack the rest of the lumber right here.
Oh!
End up in the water. All right, guys, well, we've got us a nice supply of lumber here to finish our hardwood floors in our cabin. Now, these aren't tongue and groove, golden stained oak boards, but they're gonna make a nice finished floor for us. I think it will also help to seal up the cabin pretty good. Now, we may still find that we wanna go back and put some insulation underneath the cabin, or build some type of kind of underpinning or something to close it up, so that it doesn't get quite so cold. But I think we camped on about as cold of a night as we'll ever camp. If we can live through that, then I think we've got it made. We're gonna have to get us another night up here camping soon, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
After the wedding.
After the wedding, that's right. You're weird. I'm gonna say Caden drove that nail. We could probably go back and review the footage. It might have been me.
Look how curved this one is.
You know what I noticed? So when we started this project out, I mean, it literally was a playhouse. I didn't intend for it to be anything nice and fancy and all that, and we just started building. But
now it's real fancy.
We kind of started a little bit sloppy because it was just a playhouse, and then the more we got into it and making videos and sharing it with everybody, and people got excited and we got excited, it kind of got nicer and nicer as it went. So we finished off doing a little better job than we started out doing. It's a pretty cool cabin, I think. I'm pretty happy with it. All right, well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Listen, don't forget to get outside and enjoy God's creation. It's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.
As we said, it's beautiful out here.
It is, isn't it? You know what else? It's February 5th. Now, this video probably won't be out for a couple of weeks, so it'll be a little later by then. But you got fish swimming around near the surface out here.
I'm gonna punt this stick.
Birds flying around. It's a beautiful day. It's like, you know, 50 degrees, super comfortable to get out and work. I love it.
That hurt. It's actually 42 degrees right now.
It is not.
It is.
Well, it's 49. I just got a notification that our oven is done preheating, so that means Janet's cooking supper. All right, we're really gonna go this time. See y'all later.